Hello everybody and welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Vince, happy to have you. On this fine Sunday night, the Sunday Night Surge Series takes on Dover tonight. Race number 2 of the season, Justin Fuller, a familiar name, out front on the pole here tonight. Then it's Brian Dickens, Justin Hazlett, Pedro Mojica, and Anthony Calatoni rounding out your top 5. Wesley Donaldson, Jeff Dillon, Chad Coleman, David Shieldhouse, and Glenn Campbell make up your first 10 drivers here tonight. They're getting ready to go here at the Monster Mile, Dover, Delaware, one of my favorite racetracks. A really fast, slick, really high-baked, high-action racetrack here. Troy Haight, J.P. Phillips, Kevin DeBrown, Mark Jorgensen Jr., Nelson Rivera. Byron Daly is going to start 16th tonight. Robert Vandy, the third's going to start 18th. Stephen Miles is going to start 17th. Then it's Scotty Sobeski. Mike Kelly, your top 20. 40 drivers tonight. Get them rolling here at Dover. And a little bit of a change in rule set for this group here this week. They allowed up to 60 people to practice, but only took the top 40 in qualifying. Good to see a full field on a Sunday night. Now's the time to settle in. We all got to work tomorrow. So let's tighten our belts and enjoy one more good race before we head back to the grind. Down to the start zone they go. Justin Fuller gets them rolling. The green flag is out. We're racing at Dover. Fuller free and clear out front. Top 3 actually got clear. Then it's a 3-wide battle back here for 5th. That was Wesley Donaldson, Pedro Mojica back there all duking it out. And they get it sorted out here to come around for lap number 1. Justin Fuller rolling good. Taking a look back here, that's David Shieldhouse side by side. And that old orange and yellow Home Depot scheme. And then it's Chad Coleman on the outside. Glenn Campbell's on the charge. Coleman's going to have to slide up the racetrack to avoid contact there. Ultimately, though, the top 10 getting single filed out here quickly. These laps are going to fly by. 30-second lap times right now. But Justin Fuller setting the pace. 23-second lap times, rather, with Brian Dickens. He started outside pole. He fell all the way back to 6th during that start. And right now, running a fastest lap of the race, a 23.81. A lot of these drivers, again, this is a really fun racetrack. It gives you the opportunity to slide around and have to work with the car and work with what you got. You got to conserve it a little bit. We'll see a lot of off-quarter racing. You'll see a lot of exit to turn 2. It gets tight there, but it also produces a lot of drivers entering. If you do not treat 1 and 2 nicely, you're going to find out on the exit. The same in 3 and 4. It has a tendency to throw you way out to the outside, and you're going to see drivers make contact with that turn 4 wall before it's all said and done. Miles will claim a few here tonight, and we're here to watch every lap of it. Again, our top 5 single filed out. Fastest lap of the night comes from Stephen Miles. Oh, the caution's out. We've got a wreck towards the rear of the field here. Big damage there on Gerald Livingston's car. Ryan Wortman was able to squeeze through it. Looks like Thomas Hazlett involved. John Mustaine also collected in this wreck. Under caution for the first time. Let's take a look, find out what happened. That is not the view I expected to have there. Let's take a look at just there. Gerald Livingston. How about this? A little loose, but able to save it off a turn 4. And then Livingston drives it down into 3 and 4. And they just check up in front of him. He's got nowhere to go. Big contact. That's a 6-car incident there on the exit of turn 2. Under caution here for the first time tonight for the Sunday Night Surge Series presented by Sim 500 on turn 1. Justin Fuller leads. Justin Hazlett is sitting P2. Anthony Calatoni, Pedro Mojica, and Wesley Donaldson, your top 5. Justin Fuller, I tell you what, he's on a tear right now. He claims he absolutely hates the Cup car, but one of the most consistently fast drivers we have seen over the whole season, putting on an impressive show over there, and then obviously really stepping up the game on the ARCA side as well, and starting on the pole here tonight. Behind the pace car, we'll step aside here, lap 7 of 120. You're watching Turn 1. Racked up and ready to go back. Green flag racing here at Dover. Justin Fuller in that top spot. First caution of the night getting wrapped up. We'll go back. Green flag racing here, lap number 9. Taking a look back through the field. John Schwerkart's going to restart 20th here. We've seen him be really quick this season, especially as of late. South Valley's always good for some solid finishes as well, but my eye is on that driver of that 24 car, that silver and red Exalta 24 there. That is Stephen Miles. We'll see him up towards the front if he can keep it clean, I'm sure. Justin Fuller alongside Justin Hazlett on the front row. Bring him all the way down here to the restart zone. And we go back. Green flag racing here at Dover. Fuller out front. Hazlett's now under pressure. That's Anthony Calatoni looking underneath Hazlett. Hazlett moves up high. Stays out of the trouble, able to get off the corner now. Anthony Calatoni's feeling a little bit of pressure. That's Pedro Mojica. Donaldson on the high side as they roll out of 4. Donaldson's going to be there. He's going to lead by a nose as they come across the stripe. Donaldson's going to claim that spot there. He drove it off hard into 1. He's going to get clear. He's going to have the speed off the corner. Now Calatoni's in trouble. Mojica is on the outside. He's going to get clear. Anthony Calatoni slides back to 5th. We move back a little bit further. This is back behind David Schildhouse's Byron Daly, Jeff Dillon. They're side by side there. JP Phillips, Gerald Glenn Campbell is who that battle is. Everybody else in front of him, single file. And then that Turn 1 broadcasting pick of the night. That's Stephen Miles back there. He's on the high line, trying to make sense of this as they navigate through the traffic. 10th on back. Up front here, Fuller continues to lead. Not able to quite get away there from Hazlett. But hanging on nonetheless, just setting his own pace. These ARCA cars are nowhere near as aero sensitive as we see in the Sunday or the Monday Night Cup Series and the next gen cars, so they're able to really drive down to the corner. You see Schildhouse taking it underneath Brian Dickens pretty hard. He's going to make it stick all the way down the backstretch. Here comes Byron Daly as well. Schildhouse will get clear. Daly is going to be alongside Dick. Oh, big wiggle there. The caution's out. Not for that, but for this incident towards the rear of the field. This is Logan Koger. I think Randy Yoakum is involved. How about David Pearson is sitting sideways on the exit of 2. Under caution here, lap 14 on Turn 1. Let's take a quick look, find out what may have brought this out. Looks like Joey Jatina may also be involved in this. No, Logan Koger. Joey Jatina may be involved in that last caution. There may be an incident on pit road. Either way, let's take a look Oh, they were 3 wide, battling out of 2. Survived that. See Coker there right behind, leading the point in the middle. Coker moves up, gets into the 34, and that sends them going around. And then a car not able to go anywhere. That was the 21. And unfortunately, that's going to bring the caution out here for the second time on lap 14. Justin Fuller leads. Justin Hazlett, Wesley Donaldson, Pedro Mojica, and Anthony Calatoni, your top 5. Right before we head to another break here, I want to mention Turn 1 Broadcasting is looking to partner with some new leagues or special events. If you have a special event, league race, or a league series, tournament, whatever you'd like to elevate those experiences for your racers and fans, head on over to Facebook.com and do a search for Turn 1 Broadcasting. Give us a message. We have fantastic competitive rates and a good bit of availability as we squeeze out to the late summer. Facebook.com/Turn 1 Broadcasting for more information. We're going to step aside for just a moment, and we'll be right back. Justin Fuller leads. You're watching Turn 1. They've got them re-racked down the backstretch here. Going to go back racing lap number 18. Justin Fuller leads them. Justin Hazlett, Donaldson, Mojica, Calatoni, your top 5. David Schildhouse is going to start 6th. Byron Daly, Stephen Miles is going to start back there around the 8th place spot. Chad Coleman and Troy Haight, your top 10. Pace car hits pit road. Fuller going to take him all the way down to the restart zone here once again. He's going to see the green flag. The Sunday Night Surge Series back green here at Dover. Fuller free and clear out front, but it's a side-by-side battle out of 2. That's Donaldson alongside Hazlett. Hazlett gets clear. Now it's Pedro Mojica, Wesley Donaldson. Side by side as they roll through 3 and 4. Nearly made contact. Donaldson has to slide down the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to actually check up Schildhouse. Pedro Mojica is going to try to squeeze along the outside. And he's going to get clear down the backstretch. Everybody free and clear here. The top 15 single filed out. I say that with the exception. Is that Troy Haight? That is Troy Haight and Mike Kelly. They're side by side. But that's Chad Coleman right behind him looking for an opportunity to squeeze by. Nothing doing though. They're going to continue to remain side by side as they roll through 3 and 4. Chad Coleman. No need to push the issue here early. He's just cruising right now, sitting 11th. We go back up again to that pick of the night. That is Stephen Miles right now. And that Exalta 24. He's going to roll it off into 3 and 4. He's up 10 spots tonight, currently running 8th. Another driver Knocking on the door here of a top 3 is David Shieldhouse in the top 5 for the first time tonight. Hello, all the children, if you're watching Turn 1. We appreciate you being here. And then out front, Fuller so far has led them all, started from the pole. He's going to come out of turn 4 to take lap 23 and start growing that lead out to 0.3 of a second. In our top 10 here, our fastest driver right there was our leader last time by at 24.04 for Justin Fuller. And then we have to look all the way back to 7th place. That's Byron Daly. He's up 9 spots on the night at 24.05 out of that driver. Cruising back there, just minding his P's and Q's. We've already seen tires start to slide off here a little bit. We've had 2 cautions on the night, but only, let's call it what, 17 laps of green flag racing, and we're already seeing tires start to slide 2 and 3/10 depending on where you are on track. Speaking of, that's Daly. He's hunting for another position. Underneath Calatoni. Calatoni gets a little squirrely off corner exit. Daly's looking to get clear here. Calatoni slides up a racetrack, gets tight in turn 2. But he's going to be in a decent spot on the drive off. Able to hang on. He's moving up higher up the racetrack, diamonding off that corner a little bit. And he's not going to be able to do anything, though, with that speed. And, oh, that was a tight one. Daly moved up, tried to get clear. Here comes Stephen Miles now. And Byron Daly moves up to the top 6. Getting clear of Anthony Calatoni. Stephen Miles is also going to take advantage and follow Daly through. Stephen Miles now up to 7th. Oh, we look up front. Justin Fuller just cruising, minding his P's and Q's up here, putting in the laps, maintaining that 0.3 of a second lead over Justin Hazlett. This is Fuller's type of race that we have seen over the last couple weeks. The driver of the 51, he's got that cup car figured out. He's got momentum racing sorted out. He knows how to keep the tires underneath him, and that is going to be the most critical piece of this race here tonight, is pushing the car without pushing the car too hard or when necessary, as David Shieldhouse now looks underneath Wesley Donaldson, working out of turn number 2. He gets clear of him. Shieldhouse moving up to 4th. Donaldson in a little bit of trouble because Byron Daly's looking to follow through. Now Stephen Miles is going to challenge underneath Byron Daly himself. The driver of the 24 neck and neck with Daly. Daly had to check up a little bit to avoid falling back in line there. And then Miles looked underneath. The first time I've seen that car a little unstable through 1 and 2. That car got tight. He lost some time on corner exit. Then we take a look a little further back here. That's Chad Coleman working around Troy Haight. Chad Coleman working into the top 10 here again. Still showing 2 spots down. But another big mover and shaker. We talked about him just a little while ago. That's the 1 car. And John Schwerkart right to the bumper of Haight. He's up 14 spots on the night and climbing through the field. The 1 and John Schwerkart will be one to watch for the later laps here tonight at Dover. Going back up front, we see Miles again challenging Daly. He's going to have Donaldson right off the nose. Miles got tight there in the quarter entry. He tried to make it stick. Daly's going to lead that lap, but Miles is going to drive it right back down to the bottom. Everybody's starting to diamond off these quarter apexes a little bit. His car is starting to get a little more tight. Tire grip, or the grip's starting to fade away. And this is how everybody's going to start trying to maintain that pace, is by diamonding off, driving it in, letting it get tight, and then turning it down the corner. Miles now. He's in trouble. Calatoni's looking on the outside. The 24 may be in losing a spot or 2 here. Meanwhile, we go back up front. Fuller continues to pull away. Now 0.8 of a second, but Pedro Mojica starting to pressure Justin Hazlett as they roll off a turn 4. We saw down the backstretch last time by Mojica. Look to the left of the spoiler of Hazlett. separated now by about a car length. These two have settled in, but Justin Fuller, he's out front 0.7 of a second now. Starting to pull away. Taking a look back through the remainder of the field, that's John Swerkart nearly makes contact with the bumper of Troy Hayden, and that has to check up Kevin DeBrown. Those two struggle a little bit. I think the one's pretty fast here, but he can't really make a pass. We've seen Swerkart move his way through the field here pretty consistently. He's up 14 spots tonight, sitting in that 12th place position, and he has been following Haight right through the tire tracks, lap over lap, trying to get the drive off and the advantage he needs to make that pass. These drivers really starting to slow down just a little bit. As we take a look, David Schildhouse right at the tire tracks of Pedro Mojica, a 24.63 his last lap, and that is 0.8 of a second off the pace. We are firmly in that tire wear situation now for these drivers of the Sunday Night Surge. And keep in mind, they can't just come down and get 18 sets of tires throughout this race. That's part of it. You've got to manage your tires, manage what you've got, and they've only got 2 sets in the pits. And it's still a long way to go here as they race to complete lap number 37. Towards the back here, this is round 6 and 7th. It's starting to get busy. Miles, he's trying to work his way through the field. Meanwhile, Donaldson's leading the charge. It's Calatoni sitting 6th. Then Byron Daly, Mike Kelly. Then Miles has settled in. Shaq Coleman's worked his way or maintained that 10th place spot. Haight, Swerkart, DeBrown, Jeff Dillon, Robert Finetti III, Nelson Rivera, Justin Powers, JP Phillips, Doy Woods, Glenn Campbell, Brian Wortman, Brent Scott, Scott Simley, Seth Foudy. Everybody just on cruise control here as we still have 28 cars on the lead lap. Had a couple of incidences here tonight, and as Justin Fuller looks ahead, he's getting ready to catch some lap traffic. Fuller still maintaining, we'll call it an 0.8 of a second lead. While we've got the opportunity, let's ride on board the 20 car. That's Steven Schildhouse as he works around Dover. This lap traffic causing a little bit of disturbance here. That is Pedro Mojica. He had a little bit of trouble getting by. And then that was the 20 there. Schildhouse, he also struggled. He had to check up a little bit to not run it in the back of Mojica. They're going to lose a little bit of time to our leader, who, by the way, is that gap between him and Justin Hazlett has shrunk just a little bit. Now down to about, we'll call it 0.6. It's varied between 5 and 0.6. And, yeah, that's a little bit of a change. Fuller, last time by, ran a 24.87. His fast lap of 23.88. A little bit of these lapped cars maybe getting in the way of Fuller, able to complete his best laps, and that's going to let Hazlett have the opportunity to drive forward and catch up with him. Completing lap 45, those two running equal lap times that last time by. If you look through the remainder of the field, you're not really missing anything too much. Everybody mostly single filed out. We will see these drivers. I expect the comers and goers really start to amplify here the next 10 to 15 laps. We're going to see some of these drivers who's been overdriving the right front and who's been abusing that right rear. Well, we're going to find out here because they'll eventually come down pit road. They can make it to lap 60 or so on fuel, probably even a little bit further than that. But they will be wanting for some tires here pretty much right now. Let's ride on board with the one of John Schwerkart. He's up 14 spots, sitting 12th right now here around Dover. Looking back out front, that's Justin Fuller continues to lead here on lap 50 of 120 tonight for the Sunday night surge on turn 1. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Fitz. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't already done so, we'd love the support. If you're watching us on YouTube, and we see over there YouTube, we see several of you watching. If you haven't already done so, please like the stream if you don't mind. We would love to have that support from you. If you also have the opportunity, if you haven't, to subscribe to the channel. Really trying to grow that YouTube presence over there, and we can't do it without your support. Same on Facebook. If you're over there watching us, give us a hello in the chat. We'd love to chat with you while we're watching the Sunday Night Surge series. Put on a show, a long green flag run here. We've been green flag now for just about, we'll call it 35 or so laps. Went back green on lap 17. As Miles now working up into the top 6. He's got a long way to run down Anthony Calatoni, but Donaldson starting to slide back a little bit. Byron Daly, oh, that's alongside that lap down car. Daly trying to squeeze through there. He's going to get clear. Chad Coleman's going to follow him through. Mike Kelly in your top 10, squeezing by. Looking through the remainder of the field, everybody's mostly nose to tail. I see that. I think Kevin DeBrown's going to make a liar out of me. I believe that was Jeff Dillon and Kevin DeBrown. See everybody starting to dip into the quarter, drive down a little bit, and let the car slide up. All these drivers starting to suffer for lack of grip. We are officially a 2-second a lap deficit or more on these tires at this point here on lap 55. Keep in mind, they've got two sets of tires in the pits. They're going to have to pit at some point for fuel. We got a car sideways. That's Schwerkart. And the 59 involved. That's Jeff Dillon. I'm sorry, that's the 52 of Dillon. And that's going to bring the caution out. That's going to shake some stuff up. Well, I was just about to mention, we may see some green flag stops here in just a minute, but ultimately, nope, we're not going to see them now. Oh, as Fuller gets a little sideways, getting caught up to the pace car. While we get them caught up, let's find out what may have happened here for Schwerkart and Dillon as they come down pit road. This was coming off of turn 2, side by side. We talked about how narrow, how skinny it gets. Coming off the corner. And that's a prime right there. I think Schwerkart just got into the outside wall. They made contact, and unfortunately, that's going to end the competitive night of both Jeff Dillon and John Swerkart. An unfortunate incident here, bringing out the caution for the third time tonight at Dover. Everybody down pit road getting their service done. Right sides and fuel, or right side, four tires and fuel going on these ARCA cars. As Justin Fuller gets off pit road first. Then it's Justin Hazlett, Pedro Mojica, David Schildhouse, Anthony Calatoni, your top 5. Let's take this opportunity to step aside. You're watching Turn 1. Pace car lights are off and they're ready to go back. Green flag racing. Hey, Nicholas, hold on. We see you in chat. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Go OER Racing. Hazlett's part of that group. See how it goes for him. Green flag back out. New tires and fuel as we officially hit the halfway point here in about 2 laps. Back green at Dover. Mojica was able to slide by Hazlett. Left that door open. Now he's going to have to hold off Schildhouse. Coming down the backstretch. Fuller's going to lead him through. Schildhouse, Hazlett side by side. Hazlett on the high line. Going to have a little bit of drive-off authority here. That car looks a little squirrely. Able to hold off Schildhouse, keep him underneath him. They're going to roll down turn 2, free and clear. Fuller, in the meanwhile, he's in trouble. Here comes Pedro Mojica for the first time tonight, challenging for the lead. Mojica drove it down hard through the entry at 3, was not able to shut the door. Fuller turned the afterburners on and he drove away. Hazlett was able to hold off Schildhouse. Now Schildhouse is in trouble. That's Calatoni above him. Calatoni scrums up really high. That car gets tied off into 3. Schildhouse is going to move up. Schilder, wow! Calatoni makes huge ball contact. We know we've talked about it a couple times tonight. Turn 2, turn 4. They're going to claim some victims. Calatoni took a hard right side smack last time by. Fuller not feeling any pressure now up front. Pedro Mojica, Justin Hazlett, David Schildhouse, your top 4. Calatoni, Miles, Daly, Donaldson, Chad Coleman, Mike Kelly. It gets a little sporty back here. Who is this? Is this, that is Troy Haight, Dustin Powers. A little bit of a side-by-side battle. Keep in mind, these drivers have new tires for the first time tonight. Everybody came down pit road for fuel and service. These ARCA machines. And it's starting to get a little sporty back here. That's back behind Mike Kelly. That's the Brown poked his nose to the inside. Not able to do anything with it. as they continue to be a little racy back here. That's JP Phillips riding for Eddie, and Nelson Rivera, he's riding around right here just watching all this transpire. Speaking of, let's ride on board the 36. They continue to run here side by side. Hey, Nicholas, yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Mojica, for the first time tonight, or I'm sorry, Fuller rather, for the first time tonight, starting to feel some pressure. That's Pedro Mojica, right on the bumper of Justin Fuller. Fuller hasn't had really anybody up front challenging him for the lead tonight, but Mojica a couple times looks like he is getting to the bumper there. We'll have to continue to watch that fight up there. Meanwhile, Miles goes a little high of turn one. Daly's going to shut the door, but Miles is going to try to make a run. Up on the high line here, he's got the momentum, had to fall in line behind Schildhouse. Daly lost that spot, but Byron Daly's going to make contact with Miles. They save it. What a huge save. Massive talent here. That's going to check up the remainder of the field, though. That's Calatoni, Coleman, Donaldson. Everybody gets bottled up, all because Byron Daly had to avoid turning the 24. Coleman's going to squeeze by. Then it's going to be DeBrown. Donaldson now on the outside. Calatoni starting to slide back. We look back up front here. That's Miles now. Daly's going to lose that spot. Chad Coleman, he's working his way forward. That caution benefiting the driver there of the 38. He's up 2 spots on the starting position. He was all the way back near 15th at one point. Now DeBrown, the outside of Daly. A lot of racing action happening back there around that 8th place spot. We look back up front, though, and that's Hazlett out front of Pedro Mojica. Or, I'm sorry, that's Pedro Mojica, though. And now Hazlett looking to the bumper. Closing in there on that P2 position. And then it's David Schildhouse. He's sitting 4th at the moment. And then Miles into the top 5. He is having a killer night. He's up 13 spots. Schildhouse looks underneath Hazlett as they move into turn 1. Hazlett's going to try to hold him off on the outside. Now Schildhouse is under pressure. Here comes the 24. Schildhouse trying to keep it under control, keep the car underneath him, just behind him here. Or just off to the right side of him is the 24, who's got that advantage. We've seen that second line, especially if you can enter a little higher on corner entry, being a big factor for some of these drivers. Now Schildhouse is under pressure. Here goes Coleman. It is hard to keep the car pinched down on the bottom. You're going to lose pace. You're going to lift early. And you can't unwind the car and keep it pinched down. It's going to affect pretty much all the handling there. Schildhouse, he's going to lose 2 more spots. I was going to say that may have been the best opportunity for him to fall in line right here in front of Wesley Donaldson, but even that gap is closed up. And all of a sudden, David Schildhouse is losing a ton of positions, and he's at risk of falling out of the top 10 completely. We go back up front. Justin Fuller leads 2/10 over Mojica. Hazlett sitting 3rd. Stephen Miles, Chad Coleman, DeBrown, Schildhouse, Donaldson, Kelly, and Daly. It is still messy back here. I think Calatoni just hit the wall again out of 4. And you see Schildhouse continuing that slide back. He's all the way back to 8th now. Just trying to hang on to it. This is also, you can't run, you can't be on offense here in the 20 car. This puts you, oh, big wall contact. The 5 car makes as we're under caution. We've got several cars here spun. I see JP Phillips, Dustin Powers involved. I think Brian Wortman may have also got a piece of this. Let's take a look, find out what brought out this caution. Down the backstretch they go. Phillips just behind the 22 of Rivera. Oh, then Rivera gets into the 30. Oh, nowhere to go. And then Wortman just stuck there. He has to make contact. He wasn't going to get it slowed down in time, and that's going to bring the caution out once again. This could shake some things up. Depending on who decides to come down this lap or stay out, it could get really sporty. We're going to have about 50 or less than 50 laps of racing action left at Dover. When we come back, we'll step aside. You're watching Turn 1. A change of the guard up front. Pedro Mojica elects to stay out along with 10 of his other friends. Hazlett, Miles, Coleman, DeBrown, Donaldson, Kelly, Calatoni, Daly, and Noy Woods all elect to stay out. Meanwhile, Justin Fuller, David Schildhouse, and pretty much the rest of the lead lap cars all came down. This is going to be a big shakeup. This puts the whole field on 2 different strategies. And by the way, those drivers that pit and use their last set of tires, they need to see it go green the rest of the way. Pace car down, Mojica, Hazlett side by side. We're back racing at Dover. Mojica out front, Hazlett settles into P2. I see that, there goes Stephen Miles. Miles right now, he's up 15 spots on the night, having a great evening. Working his way into the top 3 using that pit strategy. Then it's Coleman and DeBrown side by side as they roll off the corner. Calatoni makes huge contact with the wall. Everybody's able to stay out of that drama. Schildhouse squeezes by. That could have been catastrophic for some of those drivers back there. Fuller now, really nowhere to go. DeBrow, Donaldson holding up traffic here side by side. Fuller's just itching to roll. Back behind him, it's Nelson Rivera, Byron Daly side by side. Everybody jockeying for a little bit of a position here. Meanwhile, Mojica out front. Between him, Hazlett, and Miles, they want this to go green for at least another 30 laps. They need this. They want to see it work out. Everybody pretty much in the field wants to see this go green for a little while. But they also want to see the likes of Justin Fuller, Nelson Rivera, David Schildhouse, those guys stay back in the field. But Fuller's starting to drive his way forward. Now looking underneath Chad Coleman, this shows you just how strong those tires are. Fuller restarted 12th and has raced himself all the way back up into the 4th place spot. This is a mixed strategy field at this point. Everybody trying to jockey for those positions and get into a spot. Those on these older tires, they just want to settle in. They don't want to stop the bleeding, find a spot, and just get consistent quarters through. As Coleman and Kelly, they're going to be side by side off the turn 2. And then right behind them is Donaldson. This is a fight of old tires here. Then you see the 2 car starting to make a move here on the inside. First car of this group to have those tires. As we go back up front, Justin Fuller just drove around Hazlett like he was standing still. Miles is going to take the opportunity. Hazlett had to check up a little bit. Meanwhile, that's going to hold up Schildhouse and Rivera. They have those newer tires. Schildhouse is going to dive underneath Hazlett, sees an opportunity. Justin Fuller pressuring Nelson Rivera. We're going to have a lead change. Down into 3 and 4. Pit strategy playing off. Justin Fuller retakes the lead here as they come to the line to take lap 90. Schildhouse is going to squeeze himself by as well. Again, this pack that came down here on 79 was hoping that's going to be the last caution of the night. Considering some of these drivers did not come down, that may cause an incident in its own right. If we look back a little further here, that's Chad Coleman, Wes Donaldson. The 2, the 91, the 44. And all these guys back here, this is a mixed bag of new tires and old. The 2, the 44, they came down pit road. Sorry, the 2 came down pit road, 44 did. The 38, the 46 did as well. He's on a move. This is not going to be the move that Stephen Miles wanted to see come to fruition. He's right now sitting P6, and Robert Finetti's on the move to Ford. On the way forward, rather, and Miles is going to continue to fall through the field. Looking the rest of the way through here as, again, it gets kind of congested here. Some of these drivers elected to come down, some did not. Coleman continued to slide through the field. He's P10. Donaldson's 11th. He's going to lose that spot, fall back to 12th here. Those new tires. We go back up front. It's Justin Fuller and David Schildhouse. Those two on the newest tires, battling it out here as they roll into 3 and 4. Less than a car length. We'll call it a car length. Separate these two as they come across the stripe to take lap 95. These two have broken away from Rivera, who is sitting at 1.6 back. And Pedro Mojica's fallen all the way back to 4th. Keep in mind, he is the first driver on those old tires. Then it's Hazlett sitting on those old tires. Stephen Miles has actually arrested his descent through the field. That new grip now starting to equal out just a little bit for some of these drivers as they are racy back here. That's the Brown. That's a lap down car there. That is Calatoni, Dory Woods. Donaldson and Coleman side by side. This is for position. This is for 11th. Again, both of these drivers on those older tires. Donaldson right to the inside. Trying to hold that spot. Oh, they're going to make contact. Donaldson's going to move up. That's going to collect Calatoni, Coleman, and others. And the caution's out. We saw that coming. And that's going to bring the 5th caution out here with 22 to go at Dover. Let's take another look here. This is Wesley Donaldson, Chad Coleman, racing hard on old tires. Donaldson on the low side, Coleman on the high side as they roll off a 4. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Coleman thought he was clear. Either way, Calatoni gets collected. Byron Daly's collected. Wortman is able to go high there. And man, that's an unfortunate way to end the night. And this is going to shake things up a little bit. Now, that was about the perfect run for some of these drivers who wanted to see this caution come out late. Now, Pedro Mojica, Justin Hazlett, Stephen Miles, Mike Kelly, Dory Woods. They're all coming down pit road. They're going to take their last set of tires here. And keep in mind, the drivers that are already out there, well, they've got 20 laps. So this will shake some things up. Fuller, Shieldhouse, Rivera may be in some trouble. We're going to step aside. We're going to get back green flag racing with less than 20 to go. You're watching Turn 1. Pace car down pit road. Strategy can play a factor in the end of this thing. Justin Fuller, David Shieldhouse get going. Green flag out. Shieldhouse gets loose on corner exit. We'll talk about the strategy here in just a minute. Fuller gets some rolling. Schildhaus, Rivera settle in. Then it's going to be a side-by-side battle. Glenn Campbell, well, they fan out hard out of 2. By the way, wow, 3 wide as they roll into 3. That's Hazlett, Miles side-by-side. They got Mike Kelly down there as well. They're able to hang on to it. This is the battle. This is the new tires versus old. Nowhere to go on the outside as Stephen Miles, he gets away. They're still racing hard back here, 3 wide. Again, it's tightened up just a little bit. Boy, I don't know if 3 wide's meant to happen in Dover. They made it work. All right, let's talk about tires. Pedro Mojica came down under caution, took his last set, and he's up to 3rd. Here comes Stephen Miles on a charge as well. He was held back in some traffic, and he's going to be full pull here to get up to the front before it's all said and done. Miles dives it underneath Rivera. That's going to pull him up to 4th. Meanwhile, Fuller, he is a sitting duck. Last time by, 24-13. Pedro Mojica, 23-75. Schildhaus under pressure. Mojica now underneath. Here comes Miles. Miles is going to dive it in hard. Schildhaus takes it high to get out of their way. Miles, I don't know what happened what happened to Mojica there on the front stretch, but holy cow. Miles nearly made it 3 wide for 2nd there. Both those drivers set sail to the front. 14 to go. We don't got to talk about time because they're already there. Rivera, Miles, within a car link to Fuller. That's Mojica rather. And he's going to look underneath Fuller. Pedro Mojica is going to take this lead away. Oh, Fuller makes contact with the wall. That gets Stephen Miles hurt. Justin Fuller spins. No caution. Significant damage on that 24 car. It has to be. He went airborne there for a moment. That's going to check his speed up. Hazlett's moved up to P2. Not an ideal situation for the 51. Down the backstretch they come here, 12 to go. This is a little bit of a battle here. That's Doy Woods, Mike Kelly side by side. Nelson Rivera, he's fallen back. The only driver left in the top 5 here on those old tires. Oh, we got cars everywhere. Mojica gets into the wall. What happened? Stephen Miles, your new leader. What happened? Hazlett, Woods now battling for a top 3. Schildhaus trying to hang on the outside. Mike Kelly is going to squeeze by. Donaldson is on the way. Here comes DeBrown as well. Car stopped down low on track. Still going to be green. Stephen Miles makes hard contact with a turn 4 wall. Can he hang on here for 9 more laps? Hazlett's starting to close in. That gap now just a car length. Hazlett has great corner off speed. He's going to look underneath the 24. Hazlett slides by Stephen Miles for the lead here out of turn 2 with 8 to go. Doy Woods settled in a 3rd. Mike Kelly, Donaldson to Brown, your top 6. Schildhaus has fallen all the way back to Selvin Rivera. Then sitting 8th. Chaos chaos here in the closing laps of the Sunday Night Surge Series at Dover. This group behind Stephen Miles here. Miles able to maintain somewhat of a pace. Falling back to about 4/10, or right at 4/10 over Hazlett. Woods, Kelly, and Donaldson. Miles is trying to hang on. That car is going to be beat up. Been in that outside wall of turn 4 a couple of times. He's had contact there with the 51. As Mike Kelly looks underneath Doy Woods, he's going to bring Wesley Donaldson with him. Kelly gets clear. Woods trying to hold off Donaldson. DeBrown's also going to follow Woods through. This is a battle back here for the 5th place, or 4th place spot, rather. Donaldson gets a nose out as they come down the backstretch. Meanwhile, up front, you're not missing anything. Hazlett now out to 0.8 of a second lead. Stephen Miles trying to hold off Mike Kelly. 3 to go. Miles can roll the middle of the corner there really, really well. But this drive off, I think he's going to have some aero issues. And Mike Kelly's just going to drive by him on speed. Hazlett's going to see the 2 to go for the flag man. What a chaotic end to this race here tonight. That's Schildhouse. That's a lapped car. Not a factor or for position. Everybody mostly single filed out back behind them. Justin Hazlett has been all through the field here tonight. Started 3rd. Able to hang on to it. Stayed out of trouble. Let the pitch strategy work in his favor. He's going to take it down into turn 3, turn 4 one more time. Justin Hazlett is going to win race number 2 of the Sunday Night Surge season. Mike Kelly's going to bring home P2 here tonight. He's going to finish up 20 spots. And then Stephen Miles is going to finish P3 here at Dover. What a wild race towards the end here. But ultimately, the driver of the 27 brought home the checkered flag. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll bring some post-race coverage right here on Turn 1. Race winner Justin Hazlett burns it down on the front stretch. Let's take a look here and find out what happened to Pedro Mojica. That puts Stephen Miles towards the front. Oh, it unfortunately doesn't look like we're going to be able to pull that replay. But maybe? No, doesn't look like that replay is going to work for us out. The race is concluded either way. Nope, that's not going to work out. We're not going to be able to watch that ultimately. But, yeah, what a great race here tonight in Dover on Turn 1. Let's talk to race winner. Well, sorry, let's talk to Mike Kelly very quickly. He finished P2. Mike, congratulations. Walk me through your night in that 5 car. It looked like it was a little interesting here tonight at Dover.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. How you doing? Wow, I tell you, I mean, I tend to choke in qualifying when I have to, when there's a cut like there was tonight, and So I didn't really go out and do any kind of rippers or nothing. I just wanted to get solidly in the field, and yeah, I was solidly in the middle of the field. So I had a lot of work cut out for me, and made up about 6 spots on that first run, and then I got up to like 11th, and I ran in that area for a long time until that one caution towards the middle of the race there where we could make it from the end, and just started. I mean, it was funny. I told the guys in the Turn 1 Heroes team Discord channel, I said, man, I don't think I'll have to race as hard now as I did getting from 21st to 10th. But then from that point on, it was a zoo, man. So then we got a couple we got our pit strategies mixed up there, and I got a break there and got tires with 20 to go or whatever there was there, and really didn't have a lot of advantage, but a lot of crazy stuff happened there. Probably should have been a couple yellows, but I'm glad there wasn't, because it definitely worked out for me. And Justin was really fast there at the end, and I didn't have enough time to catch him if I even could have. Plus, catching him was one thing, passing's another. But it was like old Bristol out there. Boy, those guys would get out to your outside, and you just go back like a rock. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm sweating.
Mike, we saw tonight, you mentioned those tires, being able to get those with 20 to go. It certainly looked like they had a big impact on them at the end of the day there. You were driving through the field. How critical was that? You mentioned, kind of being marred back there around 8th or 9th. Had you not had that caution come out, where were you thinking you were going to finish? Was the tire starting to stabilize there against those newer tires from 79?
Oh, I was dying. I was in a race to the back. Yeah, I mean, can't remember. I think I had fallen clear to 13th place. Well, I got stuck on the bottom, and I lost a bunch of spots, and then I hit the wall earlier coming off 4. It said I had no damage, but it didn't feel quite right after that. It's a little tighter. So if I got held down on the bottom, I couldn't do anything. But yes, that last yellow was a savior, and I was praying for it. So I finally got a break on the yellow flags.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a break, made it work. Pit strategy brought you home P2 here tonight. Mike, congratulations. We appreciate the time.
Hey, I appreciate it, Sean. Thanks a lot.
And with that, we will quickly talk to race winner Justin Hazlett. Justin, congratulations. A wild one in Dover in the books. Talk to me from your perspective of that 27 car. That had to be an exciting last 30 laps or so.
Yeah, I knew when that last caution came out that it was the gloves were coming off at the end there. Sucks to see what happened to me and Pedro. We and him ran clean all race. It's just one of those racing incidents where somebody gets a lap car in front of them. It's the end of the race, trying to get to the inside. He might have made the move a half second too early. I may have made mine at the same time. It was a straight up racing incident. No bad feelings to him, especially because I ended up getting the win. But it was a fun one, man.
It looked like it. Obviously, that call there on 79 to not take tires. How concerned were you when you started to see those 10, 15 laps go by and no caution come out?
I think at about lap 90 or something like that, I was talking to myself while I was driving. I was like, man, I should have pitted. But going into the strategy was get to my one marker that I wanted to get at, and then if I wasn't leading by then, I was going to do the opposite of the leader. Fuller pitted, and I was going to do the opposite. So I got a little lucky. I think Fuller had a little bit more outright pace on the short and the medium run, but I feel like I had a little bit more on him on the long run for tire saving. I'm starting to reel him in on the last one, but it was still a blast of a race.
Justin Hazlett able to bring home the victory. A little bit of luck, a little bit of tire strategy, and a whole lot of speed bringing you home the checkered flag. Justin, congratulations.
Thank you. I wanted to thank you guys, by the way, and my team over at On End Racing. And last Sunday, my mom got mad at me. She said I didn't thank her, so I want to thank my mom. And that's it.
All right, Justin Hazlett's mom. What's your mom's name, Justin?
Deborah,
thanks so much for allowing your son to race and allowed him to be really quick here at Dover tonight. Congratulations, Justin. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
And with that, we'll quickly talk to Steven Miles, who was the Turn 1 pick of the night here tonight. Steven, congratulations on a top 3 finish. I know, though, probably knowing you, that does not feel great considering the position you were in there late.
It's bittersweet. I wasn't 100%, so I can't really be mad. I have to be happy what I was able to finish with, I guess you could say. When Fuller hit that wall and I ramped over his car, I think I was like second. and I ramped over his car. I broke my right front, but I just looked back on it. I had a front bumper. I don't know how, but yeah, my car was driving so bad after I did that. I thought I was so damaged that I was really grateful to just to get third. But once I got the lead from the leaders after they wrecked, I was like, okay, I probably have a chance. But the longer I went, man, I was tearing that right front up, and I hit the wall. And after that, it was just like, okay, let's just get a good finish, because last week I got wrecked out, and just trying to get some consistency going. But yeah, normal spot for me, man. Top 3.
Consistency, the key to success, my friend. Stephen Miles bringing home P3 here tonight. Congratulations. And again, you were the turn 1 pick of the night, able to drive up 15 spots. So not a bad night here at Dover.
Man, I appreciate that. I wish I could send me a chat or something so I could really run harder than what I really be running. I really be taking my time until it's really crunch time, and right there at the end, I really was. Me and Pedro, I took it 3 wide on the outside at Dover. That's really wild to not wreck. And me and Pedro was coming through the field, and just right there when Fuller got in the wall, it was pretty much downhill from there. But yeah, man, just let me know next time so I can probably get a win.
Stephen Miles bringing home P3 tonight here at Dover. Stephen, congratulations.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, sir. And with that, we'll wrap up race coverage. What a great race here at Dover. Everybody walking away relatively in good spirits. It was a wild race throughout the field. And, man, I'm always excited to be able to call these Sunday night surge races with this Sim 500 gang. Well, we're going to wrap it up here tomorrow night. The Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series comes back to you live, 8:30 Eastern, 9. Let's try that again. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, right here on Turn 1. On behalf of the league admins, I'm Sean Fitz. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time for more racing action. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.